We gotta do a countdown, yo, of how many motherfuckers Mark Dacascos cleans up on this basketball court in this scene, yo. He about to fuck everybody up. That's one. Stop playing. Kick right to the face. That's two. Double kick to y'all. When I say two, I meant two at the same time. That was three. That's 4, 5. That's 6. And even Orlando, he's like, damn, like I didn't know this nigga could fight like that. Yo, I really lost count just now, yo. I swear to God, like he is fucking these dudes up. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. I want to say he took down 10 of these motherfuckers total. He took down the starting 5 and the bench. Because y'all thought y'all was tough. Y'all thought y'all was built like that to deal with Mr. Stevens. Lewis was not fucking around in this movie, man. This was lean on me, but if Joe Clark knew capoeira and was beating the fuck out of everybody and their mom in this movie. When I say Mark Dacascos is one of the most underrated martial artists, and he can actually act too. So like let's not let the martial arts just be the only thing. Like that is definitely the highlight here. But this motherfucker can act, yo. This is not only one of the Jawns that people forgot. This is my favorite fighting movie of all time, yo. Hands fucking down. Ever since I was a young boy, yo. Ever since I was a young boy. This shit, like I didn't know what capoeira was, and I was like, oh, this was Brazilian Kung Fu. And from what I looked up and read about years ago, this was something that, slaves were learning to use, because it almost looks like a style of dancing, and they were trying to disguise the fact that they were learning how to fight so they could escape. And capoeira, it does look like a really orchestrated dance technique, but it will also fuck somebody up in the process, man. This movie's so good. Silverio, he is a very cartoonish villain in this movie, but he is formidable. He's huge. He looks like he could have played T-Hawk in Street Fighter. This is the motherfucker that should play T-Hawk in Street Fighter. But he's the one that gives Mark Dacascos' character Lewis a run for his money in this film, man. He beats the fuck out of all his goons at this basketball court, and he's just like, all right, man, like you ain't down with what I'm saying. All right, what do you say? I still got to check your qualifications. And he fucks him up, man. But this really is, the basic story is, Lewis here, he comes back to his old high school, and, his old teacher offers him a job. He's like, listen, man, I want you to look after the 12 baddest kids in this school. These are just the kids that are just so fucked up. We don't even know what to do with them. So he's like, all right, I'll give them something constructive to do. I'll teach them this Brazilian Kung Fu. And they're really rowdy and just obnoxious and ignorant and violent at first. Some of them are violent, but he at some point eventually gets them on his side, and they really take a liking to this capoeira, man, and they really get into it. He becomes one of their favorite people. This is somebody that they eventually begin to look up to. But what complicates things in this movie is the fact that one of the main students in this movie, he is the cousin of this drug lord here that Lewis is fighting. So he's kind of torn in between, yo, man, I can't go against my family, Master Day, and, wanting to be a better person at the end of the day. This movie does have a sad moment. Movies like this, somebody always got to die, and we always got to do it for Lil Saint and some shit like that. Ryan Bowman's character ends up dying in this movie in a fire in one of the classrooms. It's a really fucking sad scene, man, because he's going back to get an instrument that he knows Lewis here holds near and dear to his heart, and he ends up dying in the process for it. But Ryan Bowman, man, he's actually, I like him a lot, man, everything. Whether it's a cameo where he's selling guns out of his trunk in Family Matters, whether he's, I think he was playing Micah in Children of Corn 2, which is the best sequel in the series, best movie in the franchise. But yeah, Lewis is getting his ass kicked in this movie, man. And look, Orlando's just like, God damn, dog, you really getting fucked up. That kick really should have did him in. His spine should have been severed in half the way that he got kicked. Hold up, we gotta run that back. That was Silverio hit him with the Mortal Kombat. He was posing for the front cover, yo. Silverio whooped his ass, yo. And I can't remember the name of the love interest in this movie, the one that Lewis, they went to high school together, and she's one of the teachers there, and Lewis has still got the hots for her. But there's a really nice scene with him and her. Shortly after this, though, she's like cleaning him up, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck you thought you were doing. But yeah, this movie, man, the end sequence or towards the final battle in this movie where Lewis is going all over he goes to the fucking chop shop and he whoops these dudes' asses. He's in the laundry like whooping these dudes' asses like in the backyards of the hood. Like he is fucking them up until they kind of close in on him and he's still whooping their asses, man. But they kind of do him dirty because they, somebody sneaks him, hits him with like a big ass log or something. But this movie's solid, man. It's an honorable fight in this one. This is an honorable fight, and the final battle's an honorable fight too. But they're fighting with machetes too at some point, man. I was just like, yeah, this ain't like, bro. We don't need these. Like, what are you doing? Like, we got these hands and these feet. But Only the Strong Man, one of the Jawns that people forgot. This movie's a fucking classic. Like I said, my favorite fighting movie of all time, man. I know y'all love It Man and all that shit. This shit's a lot more grounded for me. And no diss to It Man. I love the It Man movies, and I love like shit like The Protector and The Raid. But I feel like this movie, I'm not necessarily gonna say it was ahead of its time, but this shit still, you watch it today, and it's like, damn, like they really getting it in, man. Mark Dacascos is one of the most underrated martial artists of all time, man. He's great, man. He's just good in everything I see him in, man. Whether he was in John Wick, what was the third one, Parabellum. He played Zero. They didn't give him enough to do in that movie. I wish they would have. He played Eric Draven in the Crow Stairway to Heaven TV show. And he was if you're recasting Eric Draven, he was a great replacement. He was not trying to be Brandon Lee before anybody blows that shit out of context, because some of y'all love to do it. But if you look at him, with and without the Crow makeup, I was like, I buy this. Like, I buy him as Eric Draven in a TV series. He's in a B-movie version of I Am Legend. It's called I Am Omega. It's basically the same premise, but the one thing I respect about that movie more than I do I Am Legend is the fact that they used practical mutant monsters in that movie with Mark Dacascos. These are people in like practical, like they got humps and their faces are all deformed and shit. They look like they got hit with crazy radiation. And Mark Dacascos gets to do some cool shit in that movie, man. But I love that they use practical monsters in that movie. He's in, if we're talking B movies, he's in this movie called DNA. It is kind of like a Predator type of rip-off movie, but he gets to do some cool shit in that movie, man. Mark Dacascos, like, come on, man. You need to respond for that, so I can get that interview, man. I need that interview. I want to talk about a lot of movies you was in, but mainly this one right here, because, like I said, this is one of them Jawns people forgot.